Geek!
Nothing to see here.
Nick's feeling it.
So I tried something different this time.
Uh-huh.
I was perfectly still,
Uh-huh.
and it's much more intense on the inside
Yeah.
when you're not moving. When you're not moving to the beat, it's like I felt it stronger. Also,
And Nick was really feeling it, man.
I was on the
He
beat
was
within my
grooving.
heart.
Nice. oh, thank you, Lisa.
Lisa and the Colt Jam. I saw them one time in concert in King City, of all places.
Oh.
Yeah.
On purpose?
Yes, yeah, I went there.
Oh, I like Lisa.
It was Lisa and the Colt Jam, Little Susie, and A Lighter Shade of Brown.
Wow, a lighter shade of brown. They did all their one hit.
Yes, on a Sunday afternoon. That's some deep dive in there for those who listened to freestyle growing up.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. That is
Freestyle
good stuff.
never really died in Salinas. I'm dead serious. They still play it on the radio today.
I love it.
I do too.
Not that long ago, I went on a deep dive of I guess it would be old school stuff. Well, definitely for most people. I mean, it was like junior high stuff for me. Oh, man, that was good
It was
stuff.
like my entire life stuff, because as far back as I can remember. Like Stevie B, Tommy T.
Oh,
Yeah.
anything with anybody with whose name was just an initial.
Yeah.
Susie Q.
Yeah. Spring Love, man. That's the classic right
wow.
there. That's like
That
the
is-
standard.
That is good stuff.
I'm curious, Nick, do you have any idea what we're talking about?
I've heard a few of them. It's been so long since I actually listened to them.
I cannot say the same thing.
Well, I just said definitely not for me.
Mm.
Definitely not for.
Yeah.
So, hey guys,
Yeah.
how you guys doing?
I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
been chilling.
And yeah, it'd probably be a lot better if I just came back from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
What on earth are you talking about?
Not at all. So you leave on a jet plane.
I'm tired.
I would imagine.
I am tired.
Boy, my arms are tired.
What time did you get in? So right now it's 6. It's like after 6 o'clock.
on a Saturday.
Pacific
Saturday.
Standard Time.
Yeah.
So I got in. We landed a little before. I think it was about 10:45 last night.
Ooh.
We got back. It was
San
a
Jose
long.
or SFO?
It was San Jose. The thing was, okay. So for those who don't know, we got to my wife and I got to go to the grand opening ceremony of Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance at Disney World, and so all of our travel plans were not made by us. So it was made by the Walt Disney Company. So flying back, we flew from Orlando to Denver, which is already a little bit longer than it takes to fly from San Jose to Orlando. It was about close to 4.5 hours, and it was just a little over 4 hours and 15 minutes to go to Orlando. But then
Really?
we had to change planes in Denver to San Jose, which is another 2.5 hours, along with a 90-minute layover. So, but again, I can't complain. I didn't pay for the trip, so all right. If that's where you're flying us, then okay, we will deal with it. But yeah, I'm a bit tired,
I would imagine.
a bit jet lagged, but we never really fully adjusted to the time change when we were out there.
Oh yeah, you weren't even gone that long.
No, it was just 4 days.
Yeah.
So we never really fully adjusted to that. So coming back, it's not too much of a change for us. It's really just, it was such a jam-packed 4 days that we were there. That's really, I think, where most of the exhaustion is coming from. But it was a blast.
I would imagine.
But
No pun intended.
I am tired. But
Yes.
so yes, we got to go.
2.
So we got to be some of the first ones to officially ride Rise of the Resistance at Galaxy's Edge. So theirs opened the day on December 5th. So we went to the event on the 4th. And it was a good thing that we went in when we did, because we knew about the event was taking place in the evening. That was when the dedication ceremony was gonna happen, and then we would have Galaxy's Edge, to ourselves, to just the invited guests for this thing. And so initially when we got that information, we're like, okay, this is when we're going to go on the ride. And then we were kind of taking our time getting ready because this was like the first full day that we were in Orlando, because we got there mid-afternoon the day before, and then we were up late at Epcot the night before. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll take our time getting ready, and then we'll get to the park when we do, and we'll get to go on the ride tonight. And maybe we'll hit up a couple of other rides before the event. And then I got a text message from them saying that we had early access to the ride and could go on it anytime before 5. We just had to show our credentials that we had. And I was like, oh, even better. We'll go on it before, and then we can go on it again later on when there's nobody in the park.
So now I picture you guys like Wayne's World with the backstage passes, and you're showing the backstage passes to everybody.
A little bit. But I actually kept them in the very cool Rise of the Resistance little satchel that they gave us. I kept them in there. I was going to take them out when we first got in the park, and my wife was like, let's keep them in there until we're getting ready to go in. She said, I don't want to chance anything. I said, you know what? You're right. Let's just hold on. So anyways, so we got in and we went on the ride, and it was great. And it was funny because when we went on it, I took a couple of pictures when we had several moments where we were waiting to move on to another portion of the attraction. But I had told her before, as we were kind of walking up to it, I said, I don't really want to take a lot of pictures right now and video. I said, I want to soak it in this first time. I don't want to be looking through my camera screen. I want to just observe everything that's happening around us. And I said, then when we come back on it, then we'll take tons of pictures. And she agreed. She's like, okay. So we go on the ride, and it's fantastic. And then we go and have dinner, and then we come to get back, to wait to go into the event. The event happens, and there's a group of us that's standing right in front of the entrance to the attraction. So as soon as the dedication ceremony ends, and you said you were watching it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as soon as that ended, we all turn around and wait for them to open the ride. And then they tell us, oh yeah, it's not opening tonight.
Nice.
So we're like, wait, we're at the dedication ceremony for this ride that we can't go on now. They're like, nope. Like, oh, okay.
They just needed the bodies there for the live
Well,
stream.
I guess that we'll just enjoy the rest. No, I mean, the rest of Galaxy's Edge and everything else was still open.
Yeah.
It was still a private event. Just we couldn't go on the ride that we just had the dedication ceremony for, which was kind of funny. But we were kind of bummed because because we didn't really take pictures in there. There were a lot of moments where we could have gotten some really, really cool personal photos for us. That a lot of other people did, because a lot of other people who were there for the event went into the park, like when the park opened, and had some of the people we talked to, they'd ask us like, oh, how many times have you gone on? Oh, we just got here. How about you? Oh, we've been on like 5 times already, because they would go get out of line, go right back in. So like, you jerks. But it is what it is. I mean, at least they got to go on it. Yeah. So I can't complain about that. It was just kind of ironic and funny that the party that we're at, you can't go on it. But I think that there are a couple of reasons why. First, they were going to have to open really early in the morning the next day, and so I was wondering if they just didn't have crew to just run it even, at full capacity that night. Also, they were having issues with the ride during the media preview, and so I know that there were a couple of times throughout the day that I had heard where the ride had completely broken down. One of them enough where they had to get everybody off of the ride and out of the queue. Because the way the ride is, at a certain point, if it breaks down, you just have to get everybody off, just to clear everybody out in order to reset everything and figure out what's going wrong. And I think because of those problems that they had during the day, that they decided we need to just not run it tonight to make sure that it is ready to run at full capacity when we open tomorrow. And I know that just because it's a new ride, it's going to break down. It's just what happens. But I know that the official opening day for it broke down several times. People were waiting in line at 4:00 in the morning just to get in the park, and I think I'd heard that it had its first breakdown at like 9 or 10 a.m., something like that, and it happened a few times throughout the day.
I think I've talked about this before on the podcast, but like my first memory of witnessing a ride breakdown when Top Gun opened at Great America, I was like. It's like, what, 92 maybe?
93.
So I'm like 8, 9 years old and go up to Great America. And for those who know Top Gun, it's like a very up high in the air roller coaster where you're being hung from the track as opposed to sitting on the track. You're suspended from the track. Your feet are dangling in the air. And as soon as I walk into the park, I see they're just sitting there waiting for somebody
to come get them.
To come fix the rides so they get back to some kind of platform where they can get off.
Right.
And I remember thinking to myself, I'm never going on Top Gun. Like I never in my life prior to that point never seen a ride breakdown or anything. That was my first. That's my. Well, I didn't experience it because I was just walking in the park, but I was like,
witnessing it.
Nope, not doing that. No way in hell.
Yeah,
I was on
get
Big
it.
Thunder Mountain when it broke down about 100 feet from the end of the track.
Oh, yeah.
Getting back into the station, you're like, all right, well, here we go. Everybody off. Walk along the tracks and down the thing, and then out you go.
Yep. Yeah, because then depending on where it's, especially for Big Thunder, if it's not in an area at that point, so you had already come down the dropper, coming around by the by the town.
Yeah, we're by the town. Where
okay, yeah, and depending on where it's at, right there, they need to push the trains.
Yeah.
In order to get it to the LEM motors, which are magnets,
yeah.
And because then once it's there, then they can fire the LEM, and that'll push the train on its own. But at that point, yeah, you got to push the train to get up there, so you don't want people on it.
No. Yeah, it was like, okay, well, it just
fun.
ended a little early, but that's fine.
But yeah, so we did that. And it was fun having, for the most part, Galaxy's Edge to ourselves. It seemed early in the evening like there were a lot of people there for the event. But as the evening progressed, everybody kind of scattered, and there was a lot of space. So when we went on Smuggler's Run, and it was just us in the Falcon, so we got to fly the Falcon ourselves as husband and wife.
Holding hands.
Well, no, because it was constantly me. No, push that button. No, push that button.
Sorry.
It's flashing. Which one? The one that's flashing.
You didn't make your move.
No, that would have been in the other room where Leia's trying to do the twist that thing that's on the wall. There was actually a couple in front of us that was trying to recreate that for their YouTube page.
Oh my.
And you should have seen the eye rolls from the cast members, and I just was laughing. It was so freaking funny because they desperately were trying to recreate that, and I was like, oh my god, because I felt exactly like those cast members were like, oh, okay.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Because you've been to Galaxy's Edge.
Yes,
more
I have.
Than once, right?
Yes, I have.
So I get a lot of people asking me, as if I know, but they ask anyway.
But you know the person to ask.
Well, they asked me, how much money should I take if I'm going to Galaxy's Edge? And the number I've just been throwing out there, I'm like, if you really want to have a good time without having to worry about, oh, man, I couldn't do this because I can't afford it. I said, don't go with anything less than $1,000 of spending money.
Well,
and they're like, why? And I was like, let me give you some numbers out there. Are you going to want to build a lightsaber? They're like, yeah. I'm like, it's $200, right?
That's for the bare minimum version of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, you can build a droid, right? They're like, I can? Yeah. Does that sound like something you want to do? They're like, yeah. I'm like, another $200.
$100.
It's $100?
It's $100 to build a droid.
Oh, the number I was told was $200.
Well, it's close enough.
However, just by $100. However, I think they're an additional $50. You can buy a
California state tax
personality chip.
Well, I was gonna say, and then the various accessories that come with all these things. So I've been adding on numbers onto that, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, are you gonna be happy with just the one? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, are you gonna be happy with just the one lightsaber? Like, just be honest with yourself. Is the one lightsaber gonna be enough for you? Right? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But let's think of maybe it's not. Right? Let's think of like, I want to be able to have a really good time without having to worry about, man, I really wish I could have done this. And I'm like, then food's always expensive, right? And if you're going to spend the whole day at the park, you're going to want to eat 3 times, right? And then what about the rest of the money? I'm like, well, are you going to stop at Galaxy's Edge? Like, what do you mean? Aren't you want to enjoy the rest of the park? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you're going to need more money to potentially you might want to buy some souvenirs here or there. I'm like, so yeah. You to be comfortable, I'd say about $1,000.
That's not
It's not
unheard of.
No.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've been there a lot of times. I've never spent that in a few years, but yeah.
Right.
But let's say like they're going for one day.
Yeah, if you're,
And they
if
want
you're going,
to
if you're going for
really-
the whole
yeah.
kit caboodle,
Yeah. To really have a good time, like to really to come back without any regrets.
Yeah.
I
Not a bad number.
yeah.
Always come back with regrets. So speaking of stuff, so I showed you guys. So when we got there, it was very amusing. So we checked into the hotel, and while we were checking in, they handed me my welcome packet. I showed you guys had our credentials in there, and there's an itinerary in there as well.
Bunch of swag.
And so I say, and we have a hospitality room set up for you. We have snacks and drinks in there, and a little gift, a little welcome gift for you. Oh, okay, great. In my head, I'm thinking as a welcome gift, maybe like a small lithograph, a T-shirt, something like that. And then they hand us this big, huge shopping bag that's just filled with stuff.
It's nice
inside of it. So I was very happy with that. So I was showing him earlier. Let me show you some of the other stuff that I forgot to show you. There were some collectible pins.
Ooh.
He starts dropping off in front of me. Oh, gee, thanks. He's all, they're mine. You can't have them, you dirty ape.
So this one in particular, I haven't seen anywhere. I haven't looked it up online yet. But they gave me, us, only one of them, but I'm keeping it, a opening night pin for Rise of Skywalker.
Nice.
And
you posted this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one that I bought was I had to get the Santa Stormtrooper.
So actually, I just bought a really nice pair of fleece pajama pants that have
that
exact image on there. Yeah.
Nice.
And then of course I had to get me a Jungle Cruise.
You did.
Pin. I bought that. I bought that one. And then we had these opening Rise of the Resistance pins.
Ooh, those are nice.
Aren't those cool?
Especially like the one with a lot of the black on there. Or not exactly black, but the darker colored one.
Well, I thought this one was pretty cool. I like both of them, but
Yeah.
I really like this one, the open edition. It has the logo on it, so it looks very similar. It has the Rebel symbol or Resistance symbol now, and it's like in Arabic. And
So, speaking of that, so like there's an app, right? So you can translate the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So people have actually been using that same app when they're playing games like Fallen Order.
Oh, really?
To translate, and it works.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the other cool thing about these pins right here. Hold on. Forgot to show this to you earlier. Excuse me while I whip this out.
Not going there. This is a family-friendly podcast.
So the cool thing about that one.
Brought to you by.
so these were opening day pins.
Yeah.
So that's the only way to get. You had to be there Orlando opening day, and you had to follow us. They had signs set up. Cast members holding signs that said "event merchandise this way," and so we had to follow the path and go along. And so they had these
to the dark side.
So they had these opening day pins for the ride, and so of course I had to get you each one.
Ooh, I'm putting this on right now.
Well, thank you, sir.
There you go.
Oh, so for those who don't know, I'm looking at the back right now. Like pins always have like that little thing you put on the back to fasten it.
Right.
It's Mickey Mouse.
Hey, of course it is.
Yeah. That's how they do most of their stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know these.
Where have you been?
Here?
Under a rock?
So enjoy,
Very
gentlemens.
cool. I have to get a Star Wars lanyard now.
Especially since you tried to take my Stormtrooper one.
Well, you're just handing them out
I was
willy-nilly.
I was just showing it to you. I was like, hey, look at this. You're like, oh, thanks. I'm like, I'm not giving that to you.
So actually, fun fact: this will not
Keep your dirty hands off of it.
This will not penetrate my Raiders sweatshirt.
Well,
It is a really thick sweatshirt, to be fair. But thank you, Jesse.
it could. You just need a little bit more. But they actually had
I don't want to force it.
and waka. I actually brought this. They actually had quite a bit of opening day merch. Actually, and so they handed you this little thing that you could get when you walked in to decide what you wanted before. So I'll put that for you guys.
Cool.
So they had shirts and
Well, thank you very much, though.
they had two specific ones for shirts for like annual pass holders. But then I was looking at the shirts and they're nice. But for me, I'm like, I don't need another T-shirt. Because it doesn't really say on there opening day.
That $75 vehicle toy.
That's big.
How big is it?
It's probably
for $75. It better be like at least a foot.
Well, no, not that. But I would describe it equivalent to this
box of Trivial Pursuit.
Just a little taller because it's a vehicle.
Now, I don't recognize the vehicle. Is that something that's featured in the ride?
That's the one. That's the shuttle vehicle for the actual ride.
The one that gets pulled into
right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That is my favorite thing on there.
Yeah.
That is
I'd like
awesome.
to see you in a ladies' tee.
I wouldn't.
What do you guys think? Let's vote. Vote on Twitter.
No,
whichever gets the most votes will happen.
But I loved the pins. I really liked the special edition, the Magic Band, but I didn't really need it.
Yeah.
Especially because they made these really cool ones that I showed you guys that they gave to us for the event. So it's like, I already have that one for free. I don't live in Orlando, so I'm not going to be using it all the time.
Yeah.
Just because it's limited edition, I don't really need it. And then because the shirt, even though it's cool and says Rise of the Resistance and it was just for opening day, if it said like opening day, I probably would have gotten it. But I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to go for the pins. I mean, it was nice and simple, and they're, opening day pins, and I don't need another coffee tumbler. And
I'm looking at that wristband. I'm going, wow, for that.
Oh, the Magic Band?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it was limited to 3,000.
Yeah, but I'm not dropping that much.
$35? Wow.
That's actually not uncommon for for the custom Magic Bands.
I guess.
I'm not saying that that's still not crazy.
Yeah.
But that's pretty common. But the other thing, other than the pins that I did, I loved the ride vehicle.
So what's their purpose?
That is
besides
awesome. It
just
looks incredible.
Buying things at the.
Okay. So for those
do they do anything else besides that?
Yeah.
Besides
So
buying things at the park.
Yeah. So for those that haven't gone to Orlando, the Magic Bands are basically almost like a wristwatch.
Right.
And I'll pull it out so I can point to it. I'll pull it the old one. So this one that I have right here is when you're staying at a Disney resort hotel in Orlando, after you book your trip, you can get they'll automatically send you Magic Bands for no additional cost. They're just solid color ones like this. So when they booked our hotels and got all of our travel information booked, they said you can now pick your Magic Bands. It's like, oh, okay. So I picked out a red one because I like red, and my wife picked out hers, and they send these to you. So with these, what they do is it links up to the Disney World app. Mm-hmm. Because if you have your park tickets, you then link that on here as well. And you basically do everything with this for the most part. You don't have to use it to make purchases, but you can. This will open your hotel room door if you're on property. All your fast passes get stored on this. So in Orlando, what you do is, whereas we're used to in Anaheim, you walk up with your ticket and you give them the ticket and you walk in.
Right.
Whereas these, because it's all programmed in here, you walk up to the Fast Pass area and there's a little light thing that has a Mickey head on it, and you tap it on there and it circles and it turns green and you walk right in. And it's the same way when you're entering the parks. And if you can use your ticket to tap on there, or you can tap your Magic Band instead. And then if you're doing the photo pass areas, so all the Disney photographers that are out there, if they're taking your pictures, once they're done, they'll tap on your Magic Band, and within a few minutes, the pictures they took for you are up on your app, linked to you. And rides have ride photos on there, go on there as well. And they gave us the photo pass, the memory maker, for free. So we were at all the photographers getting a lot of Christmas portraits taken.
Nice.
But like I said, so you get the solid color ones for free if you're staying at a Disney resort. You can pick which ones you want, or you can buy. They'll usually have a few of the graphic ones for a cheaper price. So I know they had a few, like, Star Wars and Marvel and Disney characters for, instead of like $25, it was like $10 if you want. But I already had a Stormtrooper one, so I was like, I don't see anything else, so I get the color. And then we get there, and they're like, oh, we have custom Magic Bands for you for the event too. So they programmed everything on that for me right away, and they're like, okay, you're set.
Nice.
So that's what those are for. I'm surprised that Anaheim hasn't gone to these yet, because it does make it more convenient. and of course, these are used for research as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're tracking when you're
it's RFID. You're being tracked. Constantly.
When you're in the park, this lets
the only thing I don't like about it.
This lets them know what you're doing. So,
and when they mentioned that they were going to them, even in Anaheim, just for the purchasing power stuff, I was like, yeah, I don't want a young kid with this running around with some money. I don't give you this pre-program for a certain amount.
You can actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Right. So for
Big Brother's watching.
So for convenience sake, I was like, meh, they already have my information.
I mean, at this point.
For me, they've got everything on me. So I'm like, well, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And then some of us have a difficult time restraining ourselves. So maybe putting a specific amount of money on one of those things might be a good thing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, too, you don't have to link a card to it to make purchases. You can opt not to.
I swear to God, I didn't make 70 lightsabers.
So here at the shop, everyone was talking about Rise of the Resistance. So I just had videos playing not all of them were like Rise of the Resistance.
Right.
I had a lot of people go, so what can you do at Galaxy's Edge? So I showed them Savvy's workshop.
Right.
And like the whole like lightsaber spiel. I watched several different cast members perform that entire part over and over again.
And you get to see
some were better than others.
Oh yeah.
But in every case, you see the people that had no idea you could do this. You can see like the look of wonder in their face, like, and I'm like, yeah, you can make your own lightsaber.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I do eventually go, that's the first thing I do. Like Savvy's workshop, I'm building a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy one of the already pre-made movie lightsabers. That just doesn't really seem appealing to me. I want my own.
It's so funny too, because I would like to I wouldn't mind doing the Savis just to go through the experience of it, but looking at them, I'm like,
well, yeah, no, the parts look kind of cheap and everything. I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen a lot better.
Yeah, I mean they're heavy and they're good quality,
yeah.
But for me, I still prefer the Legacy, what are called now the Legacy lightsabers.
But the experience is what I'm really going for, right? And I want something that's specifically mine, because I can go on something. I was telling someone earlier about Saber Forge and Vader's Vault, and I can actually piece together my own from a much better quality,
right?
Much more expensive, but I can make my own personalized one too. But the experience of going through the story and here you are at Savvy's workshop and picking out the Kyber crystal and the whole nine. I'm like, I want to experience that.
But like I was telling you guys earlier, you were asking just like about attendance and whatnot. Is I think with this, as Orlando is already seeing, for the people that have been complaining that the crowds aren't there, it's a stupid idea. This changes. This changes. This is what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
On opening day, and unfortunately, technology kept them from being able to have that right open on opening day.
We gotta wait a while.
Well, but it's like every time we get a new video game console,
long, though.
I wouldn't
like a month,
maybe.
But whenever a new gaming console comes out, everyone I know always waits in line, for the midnight release of blah blah blah, and it's always full of bugs. And I always tell people I never do anything I never get any new console or anything like that for at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
Let them work out all the bugs.
Right.
Let them fix everything, perfect everything, and then my first experience, hopefully, is a good one. One without problems or bugs. Or I probably should have waited for Disney Plus, but that's a whole other thing.
Derp.
Which some problems fixed itself, and some problems came back. Things were going good there for a few days, and then back to square one.
But yeah, I can't wait for you guys to be able to experience this ride. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, so. I mean, perfectly honest. You were saying that you had some questions about it. I'm just playing the queue right through.
So, I mean, I've watched lots of videos on it, in which it does not compare to the actual experience firsthand. But to be perfectly honest, from everything I'm seeing, I don't think I've ever seen anything cooler than this. Legitimately,
because nothing like this has ever been done.
I was telling people you've never seen anything like this before. It's
the only thing you have to compare it to is Star Tours.
Right.
Yeah. And this is a much literally larger version, but
on steroids.
Yeah.
But again, like I was saying with Savi's workshop, this is, the scope of it. Yeah, what they're really selling, or at least what I think people really should be buying when it comes to this, is the experience.
And that's what Galaxy's Edge was always supposed to be, was the immersive experience. And this is one of the first major attractions that really has that immersive experience. I think Wizarding World took the first step into doing that and how it was done. But this takes it a step further, because now in the attraction, you really are part of the ride. But I mean, you look here, just the appearance of the hologram of Rey, even though it's an old thing that's been done before called the Pepper's Ghost effect, this is one of the best ones that I've seen. You know, it looks like the holograms that we're used to.
Well, I was going to say, actually, someone was actually asking me the technology behind this effect. Is that a screen?
Yeah, so this is an old magic illusion called Pepper's Ghost. It's been used, forever. So what it is you have a film. When I say film, I'll say, a screen that's usually at an angle. And it's a very thin material that's placed at an angle. And then underneath, or usually sometimes on top, it shoots down to a mirror that bounces off onto the screen, and it gives you then the illusion of something being right there. Yeah. So it was the same technique, like, for an example, Tupac's Ghost at Coachella. It's exactly what it was. It was Pepper's Ghost effect. But because of that,
he was there, man.
because of the screen that you're using, it can be very close to transparent, to where you can see the rest of the room. But this one, the screen that they're using on this one is much better than I have ever seen before. Yeah. So that's what this is that you're looking at, is the Pepper's Ghost. And
Pepper Potts is Marvel. She's in the Marvel land.
Oh, sorry.
She's alive. She didn't have a ghost.
Sorry.
Or is Pepper a new
that's
Jedi?
Goose's ghost. Goose's ghost.
And then the Star Wars exit sign is there. So yeah. So this is cool too. So N1ck is one of the animatronics in it. And even though he only has a few lines of dialogue, the original actor that voiced him, that lives in Africa, they went out to Africa and recorded him doing the dialogue for this ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's him.
Nice.
Doing N1ck again.
But we do know that's not Admiral Akbar, though.
That's correct.
Does he have a name, though?
He does, and at the time, right now, I cannot remember. Yes. Steve.
Corporal Steve. Now, also, me and a couple other people in the comic book shop could not think of the name of their species. And I didn't want to look it up because I felt that would be, accepting defeat.
Well, no, it's not defeat. That's how you learn.
But I should know this. This is a comic book store, for crying out loud. I should know these things.
Is Parker Station? I don't know.
So the idea is in Galaxy's Edge, or Batu, in particular Black Spire Outpost, is that the Resistance has a hidden camp, has a hidden base camp there. So that's ironically where you happen to be.
Yep.
And so you go in, and Rey appears and lets you know that you've been recruited and you're going to help on this mission with Poe. And so after you come out of that room, then you see Poe's X-Wing is there with BB-8 in the ship already getting everything ready. And you then enter your transport shuttle that's going to take you on your mission to assist Poe. And it's just fantastic in there. So that's where you see, we'll call him Akbar's cousin, is there with N1ck as the pilot. And so they're talking to you, let you know what's going on. And then this is the first of two parts that are basically like Star Tours, where you have the screens, but they completely surround you to, again, give you that immersiveness into the experience. And I think for those that maybe aren't paying attention to the news that's out there, or just aren't up on things, may think that this is like the only part of the ride. And
I had people that were watching this and were like, "Oh my god, this looks so cool." I'm like, "Oh no, it's just started."
Yeah,
like,
this
what?
is like,
this is the beginning.
Yeah,
but wait, there's more.
And so then you see all the pilots, including Poe, on screen because they're supposed to be escorting you. And then, of course, as is a Star Wars movie, once you enter into outer space, and again, it's again great that when it's flying out, you're looking at the Black Spire outpost on the screen, so it's where you're supposed to be, and the First Order appears, and they capture your ship in a tractor beam and pull you in. And so while you're on it, like that one video you were showing me earlier, that guy was very overreacting as to how it was moving.
Yeah.
It gives a little bounce to it, and you can feel it move, but it's not throwing you around because you're standing up. They're not going to put something in that's throwing you around like that when you're standing up. So, but you feel your vehicle moving and jerking as you're standing up, and and things are happening. And again, what unfortunately this video that we're showing doesn't show is there are other screens behind you that are supposed to be windows, so you see close to a 360 experience of all the ships and the dogfight that's happening in space with TIE fighters. And of course, it all matches up with the fighter pilots that you're seeing on the monitors that are supposed to be your escorts, with all of that going on. And then the First Order appears on screen to let you know that they've captured you.
Hey, girl.
Hey, sup, girl?
Captured my heart with a tractor beam.
And so I won't tell you how it happens behind the magic yet. Maybe I'll do it off mic. But at this point now, when you've been captured, when your ship lands, your shuttle doors open, that you just walked in, and you were outside, and you saw Poe's X-Wing, and supposedly you flew into outer space, and the doors open, and suddenly you are in an Imperial hangar.
Now, I have a question, only because you say you won't say how it happens. I just assumed, again, not having been there myself, I assume you walk in, you're outside, you walk in, and do you see the other side of the shuttle at first?
No.
So it's just, is there just like a wall there?
Yeah.
I just assume the other side of the wall is no? Because I mean that would be the unless it's like
they just move you down a corridor.
Yeah, corridor. Like, is it on a track?
Yeah, you'd assume something like that.
Yeah, you'd assume.
So you're now in an Imperial hangar, and again, the video looks great and shows you what's happening, but there's nothing like that experience of that door opening and suddenly you're somewhere else. That's massive.
Yep.
And you just, hey guys, what's going on?
And so, even though it's very obvious that there aren't people in the stormtrooper costumes, they are all slightly moving to observe you as you're walking around. So they do give that feeling of you're being watched.
So they're not just statues.
So they're not just statues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Animatronics.
And then you have the full size TIE fighter hanging over you that's ready to undock and go after you. And of course with the screen, which is you're looking out the bay, you see fighters flying by and other Star Destroyers that are out there. So you really feel like you're in space. And then you have live cast members there in their Imperial officer uniforms that are pushing you through to get through to go to, because you're going to be interrogated. And you're in a Star Destroyer, and at this point, after walking into that shuttle,
I can hear it in my head too.
Into that docking bay, you feel like you are in the movie, and again, having live people to really push you through this event really adds to it.
They don't speak with transatlantic accents, do they?
Some do.
How many in your party?
The people that we encountered during this part were really into it, as I would hope most cast members will be. There's some, like in this video that we're looking at, there was like, okay, how many here? Whereas others were like walking up and sneering at us and like, how many here to be interrogated?
Yeah.
Which one of you is, how many spies do we have here?
Well, I mean, I said it earlier, in my life, I can't say I had ever wanted to be a cast member before, but now I would love to do this.
It was so fun. At one point when we were waiting, and one of the cast members walked up, one of the Imperial officers, and they asked for was there just a single spy? One single, and this one lady right away just like rose her hands, like, oh, me. And I was standing next to this TV reporter, and we just started laughing. We're like, you would be the worst spy in the world.
So what happens if someone says it's me? I'm the spy. So they take him away.
Well, so the idea is right here is you're about to be processed to be interrogated.
Yeah.
So that's what the role that they should be playing is. You're spies, and they're grouping you into small groups so that you can be interrogated. So it was just funny to have this, have them come up. We're looking for a single spy. She's like, oh, me. And we're like, you were the worst spy in the world.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to answer when they say who's the spy. So again, then as you're getting to your interrogation rooms, you have more stormtroopers that are just observing you to make sure you don't get out of line. And so the one guy who pulled us out to get into our grouping areas, was for us to stand against the wall with eyes forward, don't say anything. So they again, if you're a cast member, this is the one. If you want to be a jerk, this is the attraction you want to work on.
Start speaking in the German accent.
There's no Germans in space.
But it also is kind of funny because when they put you in your groups, they don't have numbers on the ground. There's colored lines.
Yeah.
And so when we got grouped into ours, and they're like, it was like, blue here, orange here, and I told my wife, I said, so where does the colorblind person stand? You're like, why aren't you standing in your blue color?
Little insensitive.
All I see is
Disney.
gray, sir.
Yeah.
Where's the gray line?
It's all the same color to me.
Man, it's really coming down outside. I didn't realize it was going to rain today.
Oh, it's raining.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can see people with the same passes as me.
Some of these people don't look as enthusiastic as they should.
Yeah, I know. Well, people.
Like they've never seen Star Wars before. What the hell?
Whatever, Tyler.
One guy just looked completely unimpressed. Like, pff.
It might have been. Sorry, let's go look.
At least I can grow an actual beard.
So now you get into the interrogation room, and this is another Pepper's Ghost effect, but it's really, really, it's great in general. But one of the things I want you to pay attention to is that even though it's projection, they cast shadows.
Whoa.
So watch them when the officers, when they enter the room, including Kylo, look at the shadows on the ceiling. They actually create shadows when they're walking through, which is, again, it adds to the realism of that they are there, ready to, that they're just there, physically in form.
General Hux, nobody likes you.
And so this part of the attraction is then what gets you ready to get onto your ride vehicle, and it's pretty cool. So Kylo Ren now is trying to interrogate you and use the Force.
I do what I want.
And I believe I was reading that for this, Kylo Ren is the same gentleman who voices him in the Battlefront
I
games.
believe so.
Yeah. Which, having recently played it, I did not know that it was an Adam Driver. Billy D. Williams is Lando in Battlefront 2. So I thought, hey, maybe they got Adam Driver too, because it's very convincing.
So this was a cool effect when the Resistance appears to break you out, because that's the whole idea, is that they've I don't know that guy's. That ain't the Resistance. They have an effect where the Resistance basically cuts down a wall,
which was really cool.
Cuts out oh, there's that woman again complaining about kitty litter. Sorry, listeners, we're trying to get to the video here.
Skipping some YouTube ads.
And so after they something happens, and obviously they know people are trying to, that the resistance is there. They leave the bridge, and then it looks like torches are cutting open the wall next to you, and then the portion comes out. And then that's where they have your pre-programmed escape vehicles, and so you have a couple of cast members that are in there because they're load and dispatch, so they're actually part of your safety. You get in there and they put you in, and then that's when you're waiting to go into and we actually sat there for a few minutes waiting, and so we thought that something had happened, and so I think that's what it was. I think they were also still just working out the timing on everything, and then once the ride vehicle starts, once the sequence actually begins, then John Boyega, who has disguised himself as a stormtrooper again to rescue you, he pops in. That's not the one I was looking for. He pops up to there you go, to tell you where you're going, which basically is just stay seating. We'll take care of the rest.
This kind of reminds me of Sala on the Indiana Jones adventure.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. And so the first,
hello, my friend.
So the first room that you enter, if you're not paying attention, when you start paying attention, you realize that your vehicle there is no track. So these are trackless ride vehicles, which has been done before, but this is one of the most complicated setups for it. I mean, you saw just that one moment at the very beginning, that little dance that's going on.
Whoa. I didn't see this before. There's an Imperial probe droid.
Exactly. So when you first start going down, so like I was saying, just the complications of it, when you first enter the room, the empty ride vehicles are coming in because those are about to go and pick up the next guests that are going to get on the ride in your loading area. But, the way to get away with that is that this is the processing area. So, but I mean, look at the choreographed dance that these all have to do to get around each other before it goes on the ride. I
mean, first I was already super impressed because there you are being piloted by an astromech droid.
Yes.
And then you turn a corner.
And
there's an Imperial, well, I guess, First Order probe droid.
Yeah.
But, oh, my God.
Yeah, so he almost catches you, and you're like, whoa, hold on a sec.
And it's clever that it's being suspended by its antennas.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
And so...
Antennae?
I'll go and add sound to this while we watch. So that was the other cool effect is with the laser fire is look at the parts of the structure when they hit.
Oh, yeah, you see like sparks fly out.
Not just sparks, they make holes. Watch.
Oh.
Fancy.
That's interesting. I wonder how long it takes to reset that.
And so it gets seconds.
Seconds?
So again, so this part right here, so after this, and you're already like, this is amazing. You turn the corner and it bolts down the hall, and suddenly you come face to face with full AT-ATs, full Imperial walkers, and the scope of again, the video's cool, but when you see it in person, my wife and I literally, when we entered the room, we're both said, "Oh my God, it's massive." And so again, you're trying to get out, and stormtroopers keep surrounding you, and then what you find is that they have an animatronic John Boyega in there.
I really need to apologize to Mike.
And so,
because there's not an animatronic John Boyega. I was like, it's a screen, Mike. It's a screen.
Now, here's the cool thing: there's two of them in this scene. Because depending on where your ride vehicle is, you can see him in two different areas.
Interesting. So
that each ride vehicle, because your vehicles actually separate, you're not behind each other the whole time. Yeah. So depending on where you're at, you'll see him. So like this one right here, you see him, against the wall, hiding back there. The one that we were on, he's actually crouched behind those crates on the other side.
That is cool.
So everybody actually gets to experience them depending on where you're at. But not only that, but you also get 2 different experiences depending on where your vehicle goes.
To encourage you to go multiple times.
Exactly. And so, like this one, suddenly you go up and you're face to face with an AT-AT.
Yep.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Uh-oh.
We'll be leaving right now.
Oh, that's cool.
And then this is another really cool thing about it that it does is it continually is telling you you're part of this story and really making it like a mini Star Wars movie that you're in, because most other attractions would be like, excitement, whereas this point right now, it kind of slows down because you're trying to be sneaky and get out of a certain area. But now you overhear quietly, the plans of Kylo and General Hux, where you're spying on them on the bridge. But then that's when you see
the resistance.
The resistance appears. And so then that's when Kylo realizes that,
Sorry guys, gotta go.
And then you get another Pepper's Ghost effect there of Kylo coming down after you. And then that's when he decides to go through the ceiling to get you. And again, these set pieces are just huge. And you feel the burst of wind from the large cannons firing as you're trying to get by them when they're firing.
Crazy thing is, like, the last month, I've played an insane amount of, like, Battlefront and Fallen Order. And so, like, all I'm thinking is, oh, man, this is just like last week when I, I destroyed this ship and I did this and I did that. Only this is, some of it is actually three-dimensional,
right,
living, breathing real life.
And it's really cool, too, because then, right here, even though some it might be seem kind of silly, but I thought it was really cool. So this is right before you're really trying to get to this is when you're trying to get to your escape pod at this moment, and Kylo captures you. So he's holding both vehicles with the Force, so he's pushing and pulling you, trying to pull you closer. And then when the Resistance blows the hole there in the hull of the ship, you feel the wind starting to get sucked out of the room when it pulls you away to get to your escape pod. And then that's when it turns into another mini Star Tours, which again is very complex system, because now these trackless ride vehicles need to go into another ride vehicle and secure you in there.
Oh, and this is the $75 vehicle that they sell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good drop that it drops you. So it actually does. You do actually have a drop in it. And then you're like in another very quick Star Tours type of ride in your vehicle, and you crash land back on Batuu. So then your trackless ride vehicles, you come outside and you're there. And luckily, Akbar's cousin, Harry Akbar,
back to Batuu.
You can see that he survived as well.
Going back to Batuu.
So, in a nutshell, that is what it's like to go on it. It's a long ride experience.
It's a big nutshell.
But it's amazing, and I guess these guys showed it from two different vehicles, which was cool. So I recommend for people to check out Theme Park Review or Attractions Magazine on YouTube. I think that they have the best footage of the attraction and the queue and everything itself to kind of check it out for themselves. It's open in Orlando and then opens in Anaheim in January. So if anybody's going, I recommend, it's two different ways. So in Orlando, people, like I said, people have been lining up by like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for the main gate to open to even get in the park. Now in Orlando, they're not doing fast passes and they're not doing a standby line. They're doing boarding parties, and you cannot join a boarding party. You have to do it. You can only do it through their app, the Disney World app. You cannot join a boarding party until you have crossed through the turnstile. And so, from what I've been hearing, all boarding parties for the day have been gone by like 9 a.m. Wow. And if you have not joined one, you are not getting on the ride that day. That is just what it is. They're not doing any other type of line. It is strictly boarding parties alone. I mean, I can tell you because when we went back to that park on Thursday, because that's when the merchandise came out.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, we got to go back just to go find that stuff. We walked through just to see if we could get on. And that's when they told us, like, no, we're only doing people that are on the boarding parties, and that is it. If you're not on one of those, you're not getting on.
Damn.
Yeah. So I know that they can do boarding parties in Disneyland for Galaxy's Edge, because they had the plan that they might do that for Smuggler's Run or even just to get in the land. So I would assume that is what's going to happen as well once it opens in Disneyland. So I would recommend, again, to be ready to get there when the park opens. Yeah, because once those boarding parties are full, you are not getting on the ride.
That's crazy.
That is just, unfortunately, the way it's going to be. So that's my recommendation to people, but I cannot recommend this ride enough. I mean, it is next level. This sets the bar for theme park rides for years to come.
Crazy.
Well, it keeps you moving, and it's how many minutes?
Well, once you
10 plus minutes.
Oh yeah, at least, because I count. Some people aren't counting like the scene with Rey and the hologram and the shuttle. As far as I'm concerned, some people are like, "Oh no, that's the pre-show. That's not really the ride." I'm like, "No, I think that's part of the attraction." So for me, once you get into that room where Rey tells you what's happening, for me, that's when the attraction starts. And so if you're including that all the way up until where you get off of the ride, you can do anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. It's long.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was very lucky. Again, Forrest Gumped my way into through life again, and we got an amazing week. Yeah. So I mean, there's more stories I could share about the whole week. I mean, it was a blast. We got to do a lot. We were the mouse took care of us quite a bit while we were there, and yeah.
Nice.
The only thing that annoys me, I already can't stand most YouTubers anyway. This made me hate them even more. I mean, everywhere I turned, there was somebody holding their phone up to it, saying, "Oh my God, so I totally just went on the Star Wars ride, and oh my God," turn another corner, "Oh my God, so I just went on the Star Wars ride," and then they're like flipping their hair,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, so I was just on this ride." I'm like, I just want to kick each and every one of you.
Yeah, so like every video that we had playing at the shop, people are pointing out there's so many people with their phones out. I'm like, yeah, and not a lot of people actually just experiencing it. Yeah.
And again, that was why I would have shot video had we gone on another time, but I'm lucky I got to go on it with really out much of a wait, and I got to experience it. So
there's nothing stopping you from technically wearing a GoPro through it, right?
I don't see why not. Yeah. So the only thing is that again, depending on how you're wearing it, you got to remember that whatever you're turning at to look at, that's what it's going to see.
Right.
But that's all it's going to see.
Right.
And that was why I didn't want to be looking through, my camera.
Well, I mean, like, I one time had someone ask me, like, how come your Snapchat is just so boring? Is it just you talking or you? Is that because every time I'm doing something interesting, I'm not thinking, hey, I need to record this.
But and I had to consciously tell myself,
it, man.
I had to consciously tell myself because I wanted to take, my plan was to take a lot of pictures and video for our, our listeners, and our fans. I wanted to share that experience with them, but I didn't want to sacrifice my first experience for that, which I think unfortunately is what we've seen so far. A lot of people did is sacrifice their first experience to be able, for clicks. And I don't do that. I was ready to I just wanted to soak it in and really be a part of it. Now, yeah, I do regret that I didn't take the opportunity because there was nobody in there to take some, like I said, some personal photos that would have been great just for myself, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I still, still got to experience an amazing attraction, a fantastic evening. And, so can't wait to take you guys on after we wait for 3 hours in line.
Sometimes, though, we waited, 2 hours to see the Lombardi Trophy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can wait 3 hours for Star Wars.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that if you're doing a boarding party, if you're at the park when they're doing boarding parties, it's for the most part just like Fast Pass is you don't have to get in line and wait. Once they're boarding your boarding party, you get a push notification, through the app that your boarding pass is ready. And I think you have an hour or two from the moment from when they start your party that you can then go on. So
that's a really long time.
So for the most part, it's just like Fast Pass, but in a sense, kind of different. But then also too, in a few months, the wait will the craziness will die down. There will be long lines, but it won't be that insanity.
Yeah, but they'll have the kinks worked out too.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like I said, I can't wait for you guys to go on. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, love it, love it.
I can't wait to go.
So that in a nutshell.
I'm not going. I don't want to go. You're going.
No, I totally want to go.
And on the way down, you're going to be
practical.
watching Pollyanna.
I'm not going to watch Pollyanna. I'm going to sleep.
Oh, no.
I will sleep.
Come out and play, Pollyanna.
Oh, no.
I'll take a bunch of sedatives and.
We're going to pull a Clockwork Orange on you, buddy.
To the Guardians of the Galaxy Tower, and we're going to go have some fun.
Definitely not doing that.
Yes, we are.
No, I don't do that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
be
a
big drops.
We are gonna be a Baracus you for that, buddy.
And I don't do Splash Mountain anymore. Done that before. I ain't doing that again.
I will sit at the back, of course, because that's where you get the least wet. I can use the footholds and I lift myself up, or when it comes over, it goes right underneath. I don't have to worry about it.
So, speaking of Star Wars, how about that Mandalorian?
Very interesting television program.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Thanks.
No, I'm trying to think what are the best things to say. Obviously, the star of the show is the Baby Yoda puppet that we really have to thank Werner Herzog for because they considered getting just CGI in it.
Right.
And he called them cowards.
Good on him.
Who would have thought?
Well,
Werner Herzog saved the puppet for us.
He said they were going to do part puppet, part CGI, and he said, "Get some balls and just do the puppet."
Yeah.
So I saw a headline. Unfortunately, this week, apparently, I didn't have time to read the actual article, but it was that on Disney Plus, that Mandalorian right now is considered the most popular series on TV.
I mean, it's definitely the most talked about right now.
And I think that's what it's equated to.
And when you look at the memes, it's like meme culture really is a good indication of what's popular.
What's dominating social media and media talk, television-wise.
Most of the network stuff is pretty much on close to hiatus.
Yeah, because it's taking the mid-year break or mid-season break.
Yeah, really. Mid-year break.
Mid-season break. You guys knew what I meant. But
winter break.
Mid-season.
But also the interesting thing is so when I talk to people, right, about Disney Plus.
You talk to people?
I do. Lots of people. It seems to be the majority of people.
I got nothing.
The majority of people that I speak to.
I don't know where I was going.
I was just watching the wheels on Nick's and my turn, and he got stuck. And
it really seems like most people are just
puttering
watching
in the mud.
Most people are just watching The Mandalorian and only The Mandalorian, and not really exploring.
On Disney Plus?
Yeah, not really exploring anything else in Disney Plus. So I mean, it's already the star of Disney Plus for sure.
Right.
But no, the Baby Yoda. That's I think really like.
Yeah, it's the driving point.
It's
He's
so much
so
to the point
cute.
where.
I'm assuming it's a he.
So someone on Twitter went on this rant about stop calling it Baby Yoda. Yoda's not its name. Yoda's not the name of the species. It's not Yoda. Blah blah blah. And I retweeted. I don't usually respond to people like this, but I retweeted. I said everything you're saying is right. However, we don't know the name of Yoda species, except for Yaddle in the Phantom Menace. We've never seen another member of Yoda species, and this child does not have a name. So, what am I supposed to call it?
Well,
Yeah.
it was either Filoni or
Baby
it was either Filoni or Favreau. I can't remember who right now, unfortunately, but one of them came out like the week after and said, because of those facts, that we don't know the name of the actual species, that at this point it's perfectly fine to call him Baby Yoda.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that. I've been calling it Baby Yoda, and we don't even know the gender of this child.
Right.
You know? No, they refers to it as he, so I'm assuming it's a boy. But and to this person, this random person on Twitter, wherever you are, if you're not going to provide
and hiding in outer space,
if you're not going to provide a suitable, alternative, do not complain. Right?
We're singing for Life Day, Nick. Hush.
We don't need to talk about Life Day. We already did a whole entire commentary track on the holiday special.
So this is Life Day. And what have you done?
I rescued a young one with my shiny gun.
But no, so we're 5 episodes into The Mandalorian, which means we are 2.5 hours, give or take, into this.
Who is this kid? Pointy ears.
Because it is a very short program.
Using the force, lifting animals.
You guys reminded me of that SNL skit where Fred Armisen and Kristen
Christmas
Wiig,
song?
they're making up impromptu songs. In the
Oh
moment,
yeah.
But they
right.
claim that they're actually written songs. And
Right.
No, the best is them actually doing Horatio. Was it
Fallon, Chris Kattan, and
Chris Kattan?
I
doing
don't care
Yeah.
what your
Yeah.
mama
Fred
says.
Armisen.
Yeah.
I love that song. I have to find that song.
I don't know. I was kind of partial to our,
Yeah.
kind of partial to our Life Day songs right now until somebody ruined it.
Yeah. We don't celebrate Life Day here, guys. I thought we've been over. We actually sat through the entirety of the holiday special to record a commentary
that is
track
why we celebrate
for the
because
fans.
we sat through it.
We did it for the fans. That's
That's why they celebrate Life Day, is because they lived it.
We suffered through the holiday special, and it was not my first rodeo nor my second. It was my third. Thrice I have watched the holiday special in its entirety. I am the
You want a cookie?
I am the Ebenezer Scrooge of Life Day.
Meh.
Bah humbug in space.
Meh.
But no,
okay.
Mandalorian.
All
Okay,
right,
so
let's jump to episode 5. So that's
Episode
that's
5.
where we're at now.
where we finally come to a familiar locale, not just Tatooine, but Mos Eisley. The first time we've seen Mos Eisley since A New Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, a nice shirt. How did I not
Tatooine
notice
Republic.
that? Nice.
riding a dewback. Notice no spurs. I'm just throwing that out there.
Derp.
Yeah,
You don't know.
I can't see any spurs.
They could be on the inside.
The spurs are usually on the back of the heel, though.
Hey, this is
A
this
long
Star
time
Wars,
ago
Star
in a
Wars.
galaxy
Yeah,
far,
you
far away.
don't,
I know.
You don't know their style.
I don't know what space spurs look like. But so the Mandalorian
Here comes a child wearing
and Baby
spurs.
Yoda evading fire from another bounty
Whose
hunter.
spurs are jingle jangling? Whose spurs are jingle jangling?
Land in Mos Eisley for repairs and to take a job to earn more money because the guild no longer has a presence in Mos Eisley, and therefore it's considered neutral, safe territory. I'm powering through this description, guys.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Go right ahead. One of us
where
got
we
you.
meet a very Sigourney Weaver looking Amy Sedaris.
That was
Sedaris.
true.
Sedaris.
With no eyebrows for some reason.
It's a style.
Yeah, and
They're not needed.
and then we meet the most obnoxious character since Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
What was his name? Taro?
Sure.
And this asshole is sitting in Han's booth.
Let's call him Charo.
Charo. Yeah. Not one for the ladies.
This, this asshole is sitting in Han's booth. So how dare he, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Captain New.
Here's the thing, though.
Dolly Parton.
Sitting in Han's booth and no evidence of Greedo shooting.
Because he didn't get a chance to. McClunky.
Me.
Oh, what the hell is wrong, George Lucas? So
there's so much.
He takes a job to earn money to repair his ship.
He worked hard for the money.
He works hard for the Imperial credits.
Yes. Because this really obnoxious aspiring bounty hunter wants to join the guild and thinks this job is going to get him in the guild because it is a ruthless mercenary played by Ming-Na Wen, who is notorious for killing many a dangerous character, including several Hutts. And dude's in way over his head, and even the Mandalorian doesn't really want to do it, but needs money, so they go out there and do this thing, right? I don't think we need to give a full description.
No.
They end up like, speeder bikes.
Essentially giving the whole plot away anyway.
I'm just...
we can jump ahead. Let's hit the fast forward button.
Well, yeah, I was going to do that. Hit the fast forward button. They capture her.
Sand people.
Oh, we can see. We find out the Sand people know American Sign Language, and so does the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So they capture her.
Vroom vroom on the space motorcycles down the dunes.
We capture her. The dude turns on the Mandalorian, right? She dies in the process. There's a shootout. Mandalorian, dispatches of him pretty easily because he sucks, and gets the child. They take back off, and then the corpse of Ming-Na Wen, or what we assume is her corpse. I'm pretty sure she's dead, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So one hell of a concussion.
We see from about the kneecap downward, a cloaked figure walks into frame towards the body, and you hear, oh, are you just going to play? Oh, no, you hear the jangle of spurs. Now, for Star Wars fans, when was the only other time we ever heard spurs jangling when somebody walked into frame? Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's exactly as I envisioned it. Yes, Boba Fett, when we see him in The Empire Strikes Back on Bespin, he walks into frame, and you hear spurs jangling. I cannot for the life of me think of any other example in Star Wars. Granted, I still haven't watched Clone Wars or Rebels, or Resistance or whatever the other show is called. I don't really know. But the only time I've ever heard spurs in the Star Wars universe was Boba Fett. Never gets old for me, man. And that's how the episode ends. And it's like, it's not post-credit scene, right? It's just right before the credits play.
Yeah, there's no post-credit stuff on it.
Yeah. Just, because of Marvel, I've gotten so used to these kind of things being a post-credit scene.
It's all right.
This is Star Wars. This is not Marvel. Those are two different things.
I'm willing to bet when Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie comes out, there will be a post-credit scene.
Not happening.
Yeah. So, thoughts?
Well, like I was saying earlier, is I think that if they were to introduce Boba into this series, I think it's a disservice to the Mandalorian.
I agree, but it's also the same planet where we last saw him as he got, swallowed into the Sarlacc pit.
Right.
Yeah. Fell into the Sarlacc pit.
Well, he's on the cusp.
So
he goes inside.
A little bit.
So we were trying to remember the name of the character.
Cobb Vanth.
So Cobb Vanth in Aftermath, so the expanded universe in novels, finds Boba's armor. So it's very possible that
BobaFettFanClub.com
right, that it could be his or it could be him. But then also, as we've mentioned before, the main baddie for the series we haven't met yet, but they've shown him by is it Giancarlo
Esposito?
That's it.
Who plays a Grand Moff.
And we haven't seen, he has not been introduced in the series yet, and we are halfway through this through the season, first season.
A little more than half. There's like 3 episodes left.
So I would assume he's about to be introduced. So for me, it would make sense that that's who it is.
Yeah. And I agree, especially since the clothing he's wearing, we've seen similar stuff in the trailers.
Right.
Now, loyal listeners know I'm not the biggest Boba Fett fan.
Right.
So if it turns out to not be Boba Fett, I'm not really going to be upset. However, that's the obvious setup here. And I guarantee you, the rabid Boba Fett fans, maybe even the members of the BobaFettFanClub.com, will be furious if this is just a red herring teasing Boba Fett and it does not pay off. And if that is the case, then I would say shame on Favreau and Filoni, because they should know better than the tease fans without delivering.
Tease fans about what?
Well, Boba Fett. Because people... I fell for it. And I was looking right at the screen, too, and I still fell for it.
Yep, you sure did. All right.
No, I don't want to get any like hate tweets or anything like that. I don't hate Boba Fett. I just was never the biggest fan.
Right. No, I get it. I totally get what you're saying. We've talked about that.
However, I am a major fan of Mando, though.
Yeah, but like I said,
awesome.
I just really think it would be a disservice to the series and the character of Mandalorian if they were to introduce the most popular bounty hunter in the series.
It would also make Favreau a liar because he literally said, and I quote, Boba Fett is not in the series.
Right, but like I said too, whether it's Cobb or maybe this new character has some of his armor.
Could be Bill Burr's character too, because we haven't seen him.
That's true.
Yet. Yeah,
that's very true. Maybe he's Cobb. We don't have a character's name for him yet.
That is very true. Yes.
So.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it would I think it's wishful thinking for a lot of fans that's who it's going to be.
Well, I think the moment it was announced, people were like, "Oh man, I hope it's a Boba Fett show."
But I did have an idea about something, or a thought about something that would tie into the I almost said Disney universe, into the Star Wars universe, but what's upcoming on Disney Plus. How everything's been so secretive. So as I was getting ready for my trip, I was playing Clone Wars. Had Clone Wars playing.
Yeah. And
there was an episode in there where actually the whole Mandalore story, where Obi-Wan talks about a time where he was stuck on Mandalore for a year. Ooh. He and Qui-Gon were on a mission or an assignment, and I forget what it is that happened, but Obi-Wan was basically stuck there for like a year. And that was when he became close friends, in quotes, with the lady who was in the Clone Wars, now the governor of Mandalore. Mm. We've been wondering who it is that saves him from that pit that his parents put him in and close it. We've seen it open, and we haven't revealed yet who it is that saves him. So would it be wishful thinking to maybe think it was Obi-Wan?
Not at all. I mean, especially if because I don't know when the release date is for the Cassian and K2SO show is. I don't know if that's supposed to come out after the Obi-Wan show or if Obi-Wan's coming out first. I don't really know. But, I mean, we do know that, I think the next big Star Wars show actually is Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and so
no disrespect to Cassian Andor, but I'm sorry, man, but Obi-Wan is a much bigger character.
So part of me was just wondering whether or not that was who it is. I mean, again, wishful thinking on my part, same as people wishful thinking that it's Boba Fett in this next episode.
Yeah.
But maybe it is him. Like I said, just that episode was playing, and when he started talking about that, I was like, oh, I wonder if it's Obi-Wan that saves him. And we see an Obi-Wan, a young Obi-Wan, pull him out.
Yeah.
To save him from these destroyers.
And who knows, maybe on the Obi-Wan show we find out where he got the name Ben from.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's probably part of it.
Yeah. That was a bad joke.
He kills somebody for it.
Yes.
I want your name.
Maybe Ben is his Mandalorian signet. I don't know.
Speaking of, okay, so I showed you guys that picture. I sent it to you. So when, I don't know how I hadn't paid attention to it, when I was at Galaxy's Edge the first time in Anaheim, in the big souvenir store there, Doc Ondar and his character's a collector of, things, relics and antiquities from across the galaxies that he just, admires, things that he loves, and other stuff that he just wants to sell for profit. But hanging on the wall in there is the Mandalorian's helmet and his rifle, and there's a banner hanging underneath it. So I'm wondering if that's going to be his signet.
I mean, you'd have to figure because nothing there is really like original, right? It's all like stuff that's existing Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
right?
except for the Ark.
Oh yeah, but I mean, but stuff like that, right? I don't think they would have just created an original like Mandalorian banner just
right.
For,
yeah,
so that's what,
so that's I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if that's.
That's true. I could totally be wrong.
We could be wrong. It could have just been, maybe it's possible that's not his helmet. But
maybe someone just designed it wrong and they just made it past everything.
But it sure as looks like his helmet.
Yep,
that's in there.
Yep.
But I still love the series.
I like it a lot. I love the characters. I think more than anything. A lot. I don't like the runtime. Like I actually really despise the runtime.
I know you don't.
I hate that it's weekly.
I like that.
Get over it.
I don't like that.
How is it? I mean, before the show came out, you were so happy that it was going to be weekly.
I thought that was a good thing until I actually experienced it. Then all of a sudden, like now, I don't like that it's weekly at all.
He went all Veruca on that.
Yeah, I know.
I want it now, Daddy.
No, I mean basically,
I want it all now.
I don't like the waiting a week
want
part now.
the
And
whole
this is the reason.
world.
Well, this is the reason why, right? So. A lot of people like to use stuff like some of my favorite shows of all time, movie shows, Sons of Anarchy, Game of Thrones, yada yada yada. But the difference there, and this is what I've realized, is that when those shows are on, I can watch like Sunday Game of Thrones came on, Tuesday Sons of Anarchy came on. It was almost every day of the week there was a different thing I was watching. That's not the case anymore, especially on Disney Plus. It's just The Mandalorian, the one time a week. So I don't watch anything else throughout the rest of the week because there's nothing really out there.
Maybe expand your horizons.
My horizons are pretty expanded. I actually got a lot of various hobbies, but again, it's Disney Plus was providing other stuff daily. The wait time wouldn't seem as long, but now it's also got to the point where now because it's only once a week, I've actually been forgetting that a new episode is out. Especially since I don't get notifications for like almost 24 hours. Like it'll be like
I know
Friday night at like 11:15 is when hey check out the new episode of Mandalorian. I'm like damn, it was like 23 hours ago. I
watched it this morning.
I did too,
but
I was a little busy.
Yeah, but so it's
I don't know
like
if you guys heard or not.
I was in Orlando.
But when I'm only getting like essentially a half hour a week.
Oh, sorry. Wait, are you talking? What?
Yeah. So especially when you're only getting like a half hour a week, it's hard for me to actually get excited about it now.
Like 36 minutes.
Well, that's a personal problem there, buddy.
42 minutes.
However,
there's medications that can help with that.
But no, it's still an issue that I have. Like if it's going to be this short, I want to be able to binge it all, like right now.
I've got them too.
Because that's not going to be the case with the Obi-Wan show. It's only going to be 4 hours long. So now I'm assuming now it's going to be 8 half-hour episodes, right? And that's kind of disappointing.
Nick wants it now. He doesn't know.
It's not enough for me compared to other hit streaming shows. You know what I'm saying?
Give me all the obvious episodes. Give me all the episodes. Give me all the episodes.
But no, legitimately, when some of our other favorite, online streaming shows are, we literally get more content out of it. I'm disappointed.
Wait, what do you mean by more content?
Like literally, like episodes of Stranger Things are almost twice as long as episodes of Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
Like 50 plus minutes versus like 30 plus minutes, right?
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but remember too that the budget for Mandalorian is way more expensive than Stranger Things. So, so that you have to factor into a weekly episode. So, do you want a full season this long of half-hour episodes, or do you just want 4 1-hour episodes?
But this is Disney we're talking about.
I understand what you're saying about it, but they still
they're making a profit.
Yeah, they still set a budget. That's just the
way they could afford it and still make a profit, especially if they're saying that this is like the most popular show on TV.
He doesn't know.
No, they could. I mean, look how much money they invest in Look how much money they invest into this overall, right?
I understand.
They have the money.
Okay, let me explain economics.
No, I'm
so that's how much money they invested into everything as a whole.
I know,
but every production has its budget limitation.
But you're telling me that Disney couldn't afford to put like the money to make it like longer? Because they could.
Yeah, but they're not going to.
But I mean, I understand
It's
that.
not
but
cost effective.
But it's still,
exactly.
They want the most They want the most money back to them that they can get off of
another
spending a little amount.
Another 20 minutes an episode isn't going to be that. Isn't going to be that much more different.
Hold on. Okay,
let me.
You're assuming you're going to be able to get enough written that it's going to be worth.
I was
them
going to say
adding
yeah.
to
So hold on. So let me explain the creative process.
Yeah.
So what happens is, when they're deciding that they're going to do this series, it's not even budget reasons. So it's of, what are your stories? Here are our stories.
Mm-hmm.
How long for each episode? So they have to see, as the creators for Favreau, Filoni, what do we think we can get the most story out of?
There's not much story here. It's more action than story.
But you want to drag that out to an hour.
But here's the problem. You also have to think that they could possibly put this on network television into a 1 hour time slot. When they do that, they have only 42 minutes max that they can put into an hour time slot if they're going to do that.
Well, then I would still be happy with 10 extra minutes per episode too.
But
that's okay, but that's not what they're going to happen. Because it's always going to.
You just said right now there's more action than plot.
There is. It's not very story-driven.
I understand it. So then why would you be happy with an hour episode of no story?
Well, one, because I've seen some absolutely fantastic movies where like an entire hour goes by and it's all just action. Two, no, I would like more story. That's one of my complaints.
Right,
but you story.
And again, that's why they're doing it this way, because this is telling the whole story over the season. Whereas
it's a slow build, I give them that.
Yeah, and
they're only giving you so much per episode.
Well, so much also per week, and that's what disappointed me. It's not enough for me. I am disappointed in it because it's not enough. I love the characters. Yeah. I like the show. I enjoy the show, but we could be getting more, is what I'm saying.
No,
I mean we could.
No, because again, you would be forcing them to tell. This is when they start forcing stuff in. That's when you start getting fluff.
Watered down.
But again, if this is the only story they're telling, if this is how much story they're just telling, I would rather be able to just binge it all now, as opposed to just like a 30-minute segment a week.
I understand what you're saying, but personally, I prefer the weekly model.
I'm super disappointed in it. Like, I enjoy it when it's on, but I'm let down by it.
Well, I mean, you're wrong, but that's cool.
Yeah. What if they did the Stranger Things that go on weekly?
I wouldn't like that at all.
I know you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it would force you to wait for the next week.
Yeah. You know what's really cool?
But also Netflix
would just go, okay.
But Netflix also has other shows.
I understand that.
Much more original content too, so it would be a lot different too. I could be like, okay, well maybe if I watch Stranger Things on Monday and then I watch like Narcos on Tuesday and like Ozark on Wednesday, it would be easier to get through the week.
Right.
If it was, I was only watching the one Netflix show.
Yeah, but you're only watching one episode or whatever per week of one show. You're essentially watching network television.
And I don't watch network television anymore.
Yeah, see,
you are now.
Yeah, but I don't.
It technically is a network.
No, I mean it's true.
It's on television,
but
it's just a different format. No, we're not used to.
But again, also on network television, let's say you're one of those people that really likes NBC.
I still watch a bunch of sitcoms.
Well, there are a lot of people that still do, but you're getting new stuff each. You're not maybe not getting the same exact show
usually
every day, but you're
week.
getting new content every single day. We're not getting that with Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's new.
It is new. I know. I get that, and that's how a lot of people are excusing a lot of the kinks and the bugs, but.
Well, it's not so necessarily the kinks and the bugs that I'm talking about. It's that they wanted to spend the bulk of their money on specific original things at the very beginning to then expand later on. And I know you're not crazy about the Marvel stuff, and that's perfectly fine. But to also then down the line, okay, and we have Obi-Wan that's coming next, and and building it that way, because they just realistically they could not have all of that content. For
that's true. That's how Netflix
launch.
started off too. It was like one show,
exactly,
and then this and that. But also, Netflix didn't have the Disney money. Like it kind of grew out of
Yeah, but understand also that even though it's all about Mandalorian, that's not what they built Disney Plus for. Disney Plus is for.
It was just like an extra selling point. It was something they
could
sell market.
Exactly.
But,
big selling point.
But again, it's still like 30 minutes a week is just. I'm sorry, it's not enough for me. And if this is how the Obi-Wan show is going to be, which most likely, like, I'll watch the Obi-Wan show, and I'm sure it'll be good, but my excitement level for it is not all that high. But, I mean, now you're getting people that are saying, like, this is the best thing that Disney's done with Star Wars since it came out, and, like, people are going, oh, man, the Rise of the Skywalker is not going to be anywhere near as good as The Mandalorian. I'm like, Mandalorian's cool. I enjoy it. It's not great. The characters are. Like, I absolutely love this character. He's, like, now one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Baby Yoda, like, they should have had Baby Yoda merchandise ready to go, like, in stores like they
yeah, but you can't.
I mean, they could have, but I don't think they anticipated that people were going to love it
they
this
should
much.
have had it ready for
Christmas.
They also, for Christmas. We're not going to get it's like way later.
They just they didn't want it leaking out, and it would have leaked out.
But like, it's, you got people now that are like, this is like their favorite Star Wars thing ever, and it's good. It's not great. Like, the show is not great. Like, I actually hated this episode 5. Oh my God, I hated this
the
episode.
one character.
That one character was in way too much, and I couldn't wait for him to die. Spoiler alert. Could not wait for him to die, and he is now the worst. I think he's the worst Star Wars character since Jar Jar Binks.
All right.
Yeah.
It was all right.
I mean, he's wrong, but, you know, that's cool. We still like you.
I mean, I liked the episode, but I didn't really care about the guy all that much.
Name a more annoying character other than Jar Jar Binks. Name a more annoying Star Wars character than this guy.
When Anakin was a kid, his best friend.
It's pretty much insert almost any other character in Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones.
Oh, I don't even remember this kid. I had Phantom Menace on the other day too.
Yeah,
I don't even
remember.
remember.
What you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this kid at all.
So
now I'm not going to go back and watch the Phantom
That
Menace.
chubby kid, right?
No, talking about the he goes with him to the pod race, and
That was a chubby kid.
I
remember
literally
there are a
do
bunch
not-
of kids being there.
right, and then there's one that hangs out with him like for most of it.
Yeah.
I literally don't even. And I literally had Phantom Menace on like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Boss Nass.
Yeah. It's a bunch of annoying characters in episode 1.
I mean, just
Hayden
about
Christensen
everything.
throughout the entire 3 movies.
2 movies.
Yeah, whatever.
He's in 2 movies, but Jake Lloyd isn't any better.
No.
So
God, I hope he's not listening. He doesn't need to hear that.
yeah, way to go, buddy.
No, but
What's a midi-chlorian?
Shut up, ask your mom.
but yeah,
His
no,
mom's
it's,
accent was weird. She was annoying.
Shmee.
I was trying to explain to somebody
Mr.
the other
Schmee
day.
is fantastic in the Robin or Peter Pan. How dare you?
Wait, what?
Never mind.
What Peter Pan was she in? Because there's like numerous ones.
Shmee, he said Shmee. I go, Mr. Shmee was fantastic in Peter Pan. How
I
dare you?
misunderstood. I was like, was she like the mom in like that one with the?
No, it's his mom. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking Peter Pan. I thought you meant she was actually in one of the more recent Peter Pan. movies.
Peter Pan more if there had been more. But I need more Peter Pan.
We need a really good live action Peter Pan movie. Hook doesn't count.
Hook.
That was like a sequel.
Give us the hook. Give us the hook.
How does that not count as a Peter Pan movie?
Because there's a sequel. I mean, like a really good adaptation of live action adaptation of Peter Pan. As in a young
Pan's
Peter
on the
Pan,
female?
like a proper Peter Pan.
Yeah,
story?
there's actually a really good. Universal did one a few
When?
years ago called Peter Pan.
I never watched that one.
It was good.
I mean, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it got torn apart by the critics.
Yeah. Well, since when do you listen to what critics say?
I mean, the trailer. If it's one I'm thinking of, the trailer looked really bad.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
Meh.
It was based more on the
Meh.
novel than. But anyways. So,
I didn't like number 4 as much. Episode 4.
That was my favorite one. 7 Samurai?
Yeah.
I mean, 2 Samurai?
I've already seen it.
2 Space Samurai? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favorite episode.
I saw Magnificent 7. I saw 7 Samurai. It's okay.
You saw 7 Samurai and then you saw Magnificent 7.
No, I saw
Say it in proper order.
Sarah's first. And then I saw 7 Samurai after the fact.
2 Samurai, 2 Furious.
No, actually, I liked it. That money shot of the Imperial Walker coming alive from the forest.
Yep.
Oh, that was incredible.
That was cool. But
Yeah.
It was an homage to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I can
Dennis
see that.
Rising
Yeah.
because Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
Nice.
directed.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So we now have
Gina
the
Carano.
first father daughter.
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano got way more dialogue than I thought they were gonna give her.
I didn't mind her.
And she was fine. Yeah. I thought
I was willing for her to knock me around for a while.
Oh
man.
What?
So she is really attractive.
So speaking of getting knocked around, Bond gets knocked around quite a bit, and the trailer for the new movie came out, and I actually haven't seen this yet because I don't know if you know, but I was a little busy this week.
I was in this place called Orlando.
No Time to Die.
So I haven't seen this. So everybody be quiet. So let's watch the new trailer for James Bond. No Time to Die.
Mr. Bond.
Why would I betray you?
We all have our secrets. We just didn't get to yours yet. The world is arming faster than we can respond. Where's 007?
I need a favor, brother. You're the only one I trust for this.
The world's moved on, Commander Bond.
You were 00?
2 years. So stay in your lane. You get in my way, I will put a bullet in your knee. The one that works.
I thought you two would get along.
Name?
Bond.
James Bond.
So you're not dead?
Hello, Q. I've missed you.
It's the most valuable asset this country has. If you feel yourself losing control,
I'm not going to lose control. James, you gave up everything for her. When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you. What is it?
You don't know what this is.
James Bond. License to Kill. History of violence. I could be speaking to my own reflection. Only your skills die with your body. Mine will survive long after I'm gone. History isn't kind to men who play God.
I forgot Voldemort was M.
Yeah.
I like it.
A lot of people were pissed off that the other 00 in this is where they're thinking might take over.
The misconception was when that story came out, people thought that they turned James Bond into a woman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
really?
Yeah, that was the complaint. But no, James Bond has been retired for some time, and the 00 designation has been given to somebody else who, ironically, if that's the same actress I'm thinking of, she was originally cast as Agent 55 from the pilot for Why the Last Man that did not get picked up. So it's pretty much what that would have looked like.
Good for Bond.
My concern is that it reminds me too much of Spectre, and I'm really hoping it's not like Spectre. Spectre was pretty disappointing.
Which was
that last one.
Right. What did you not like about Spectre?
A lot of it's too much of a by the numbers Bond movie, first of all, and like that was kind of the appeal to some of like the Daniel Craig ones, with their kind of breaking new ground. So I thought it was kind of boring. I didn't like the revelation that him and Blomfield are brothers.
Yeah,
that's like some doctor. That's literally Dr. Evil and Austin Powers. And
right.
Yeah.
Like Bond should not be imitating Austin Powers, which is a parody of Bond.
Or should it?
Now, but that's my concern. The trailer I think looks fine. The teaser they had on TV prior to that, the one that said trailer this week, I thought was way cooler than that trailer. But for some reason, I don't know why, but there's online speculation that Rami Malek is Dr. No.
Oh.
I don't know why. There's
that's right.
There's nothing in that
that's
trailer
right. Yeah.
that makes me think that's Dr. No, but
No.
that's just the online chatter.
Maybe he's Dr. Maybe.
He's Dr. N1ck. I don't know.
Like
Dr.
mine.
9.
I like mine better. The way you use those improv skills there, Nick.
But
Professor Possible.
Maybe he's
but,
Dr.
But the other thing about that trailer that also kind of, just like some kind of like I guess notes, cause for concern, whatever would have you. So when the trailer starts off, it takes place immediately after Spectre, right?
All right.
The only other time I can think of where that happened in a Bond film was Quantum of Solace, which takes place immediately after Casino Royale, and Quantum of Solace also was really lackluster and disappointing.
Yeah,
so right off the bat, this trailer makes me think of it's probably the worst of the 4 so far.
I honestly
correct, but I think it's better than quite a few of the other Bond movies.
Well, I could name worse Bond movies too,
Right.
but I mean it's still not a good Bond movie.
barely remember the last few.
Skyfall is my favorite. I 100% love
Yeah,
Skyfall.
I think I remember. I don't
and
know.
it's like hands down one of my favorite Bond movies. Period.
After Casino Royale, I think I really have only seen all the others like once. Maybe
Like I
I
said,
should
Quantum of
go
Solace-
back and watch them again.
Quantum of Solace is really forgettable. Like it's just not a lot happens in that
but
movie.
it's the most realistic plot.
Well, yeah, but it's sometimes realism.
And I liked
sucks,
how that
right?
tied in. I liked how it tied into Mr. White throughout the movies.
Well, and you find out in Spectre that the 4 films so far are one overarching long Bond story.
Right.
But Skyfall's the high point. Like I said, Skyfall is one of my absolute favorites. I 100% love it. I think it's the best Daniel Craig Bond. I really dig Casino Royale.
Right.
Spectre, there's nothing really inherently bad about Spectre. There's nothing really inherently good about it either.
Yeah, see, for me, I thought a lot, and it's because it changed everything really when they came out. Was I thought that Casino Royale tried also too hard to be Jason Bourne.
Well, that was the clear. Even the action, it's the same action choreography.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So I just thought there were. I mean, it's a good movie, but I could see the template. I was like, okay, you need to. You're trying to change the template because somebody's already changed the template for you.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
it was keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
And then Skyfall is probably the most personal, Bond story. I mean, it literally takes him back to his family home. The whole 9, the whole surrogate family with M and Javier Bardem's character, whose name I can't remember at the time. Also, you get underwater jiu-jitsu too, and that was pretty damn cool. I can't believe they pulled that off because I was thinking to myself
yeah, but it's nothing like the underwater bar fight in Top Secret. Because I think that sets the bar.
But yeah, I'm gonna watch No Time to Die because it's Bond.
Yeah,
and I'm a Bond nerd, and I mean I even grew up watching James Bond Jr.
Yeah,
had some of the toys. No one ever explained how he could be Junior if it's his nephew. But whatever.
Just call him that.
But I'm hoping it's more like
I could call you
Skyfall
Junior.
and less like Junior.
No, not like that.
We're named the dog Indiana.
I'm hoping it's more like Skyfall and less like Spectre. That's a worry of mine. But I'm gonna watch it because it's most likely the last Daniel Craig Bond movie.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't look
He's
like
no
he's gonna
longer under
resign.
contract.
Yeah. I mean, this movie almost didn't happen.
Yeah, I know. For the longest time, it didn't seem like it was gonna.
And
I
know.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
And I know
Sorry.
that I know the
Sorry, a little
Broccolis.
tired.
Is that drool out of your mouth?
And I know that the Broccolis have talked to Idris Elba in the past. I don't know if that's even
not gonna
still a
happen.
thing.
It's never gonna. Yeah, unfortunately,
personally, I'm rooting for Henry Cavill. Now that's not a rumor. That's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
I want him to be the next Bond.
he was. Did you see the last Mission Impossible?
Yes,
He was good in
That's
that. He
why
was-
I want him to be
he
Bond.
was really, really good in that.
It's all. Well, Mission Impossible is American Bond. I mean,
Oh
Ethan
yeah,
Hunt is,
yeah, totally is.
I mean, even like
Well,
Ghost.
so was the first Casino Royale.
I know, the original.
Yeah.
With what Pete was it?
David Nevin.
David Nevin. Yeah.
David Nevin.
Yeah.
Peter
what was it?
Sellers.
Yeah, Peter Sellers. But what was the one before Fallout? Was that Rogue Nation? Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
I don't remember.
Has the
After
exact
the third
same.
one, I stopped watching them. I just didn't watch them.
Oh, I've
They got better.
though they're
I heard.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's why I just bought the six pack.
Ghost
six-pack
Protocol,
for
$13.
Rogue Nation, and Fallout are incredible.
Yeah.
But I believe Rogue Nation is 5. Rogue Nation came out the same year as Spectre. It has basically the exact same plot. And it's a much better movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
moving on.
So we just got a small teaser today.
And we're supposed to get the full one tomorrow.
The full trailer for the, Wonder Woman 1984. They have a panel at Brazil Comic Con tomorrow, and they are going to live stream it on Twitter.
Okay.
Who live streams on Twitter?
Actually, it's starting to happen more now.
And so they're doing that there, and then obviously it'll be all over the interwebs after that. So we just got a quick look at it today. But I'm assuming that tomorrow, in the full one, we'll get our first look at Cheetah. Will be my guess. Because this doesn't show... You have too much in here, but it's still pretty sweet. It's formatted like this also because it was released on Instagram. So
yeah, it makes sense.
The world needs you.
Nothing good is born from lies, and greatness is not what you think.
How does it feel?
She lassoing lightning?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, at the end of the first movie, she's like literally like absorbing lightning with her bracelets and expelling it, which is a power she's never had before. But you know, whatever.
Dude, I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the rest of it? It's a minute. There's like a good
it's
50 seconds.
It's Gal just
49 seconds.
talking about the the thing for tomorrow.
I was gonna say, do we see her?
Hey
'Cause-
everyone,
okay, yeah.
I'm Gal Gadot. I'm here
Gadot.
to let you all know that something very exciting is
I love you
coming
too.
your
What?
way this Sunday, December 8th. You can get in on the action before anyone else by commenting below with a photo of your fiercest Wonder Woman pose.
Go for Nyx.
Then tune in right here to watch it all unfold.
Sorry, Jesse, I'm a little
See you
distracted right now.
Sunday.
She laughed at.
Oh, she laughed at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
And then on Monday we get Ghostbusters.
Yes, we do, and I'm actually really. Okay, I'm not gonna say excited yet because for all we know, I can watch the trailer. Yeah, I'm intrigued.
All three
that
are on
article of,
board.
like, Variety or whatever that described like the footage. There's an article that has like pictures and it gives a description of what I'm assuming is going to be the trailer. It didn't say it's describing the trailer. It just described like moments from the movie.
Are they gonna get
plot.
Rick out of?
Well, not the full
retirement?
plot because we don't know what the actual movie's
the
about.
story idea.
The story idea, yeah.
because it was an interview in Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay,
they
that's what it was,
they
yeah.
released some pictures and gave a plot breakdown.
And I like what I'm hearing so far.
Me too.
I'm a big Paul Rudd fan, so like, I mean, most movies, the name Paul Rudd is enough for me. Like, okay, you have my attention, I'll watch it. But you'll probably do a better job of describing it than I would. Did you read it?
I did.
Okay, you probably do a better job describing it than I could.
Yeah, because I had time on a plane. Because I don't know if you guys heard or not.
Yeah.
No, I read it earlier today, and so the idea is that this single mother with 2 children, they moved to a farm, and the kids are the grandkids of a Ghostbuster.
An unnamed Ghostbuster.
An unnamed Ghostbuster, but so far all signs point to Egon.
Is that why Ecto-1's doing donuts out in the middle?
Yeah.
Of
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
And that's why it's in a barn too in that first teaser. Yeah.
So that's where it's discovered, and they kind of discover what their lineage is. And Paul Rudd happens to be a fan of everything that happened in New York during that time. And so he's kind of basically what seems to be like a fanboy of, I forget what they call it.
It's something with an M. It's a 2-word thing. But yeah, it's something I never heard of before. They don't say it in the movie, so it's like
it's a new thing.
It's a new thing.
And so he, I think, is the one who kind of clues the kids in onto who they are.
Yeah, so the article talks about how the younger generation doesn't believe this actually happened. Thinks
Right.
it's just like a hoax or something like that. But having been alive during it, knows it's real. And the shot right here, we're going to see it's him holding a trap. and you could see like the oh my god, the amazement, like the wonder in his face, like, is this real? Kind of like, am I actually doing this?
And
well, we know all three.
Manhattan Crossroads.
That's what it is. And so then, all ghosts bust loose.
Right.
And speaking of, really quick, Ghostbusters. So have you seen the movies that made us yet on Netflix?
Yes. Oh yeah, I've seen everything but Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, same here.
So ironically, I just went on there and hit play,
Uh-huh.
and it started with Home Alone, and then auto-played Ghostbusters, then auto-played Die Hard, and then stopped, which was cool because I didn't really care about Dirty Dancing. I found out Dirty Dancing is episode 1.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was
and
weird.
it just, Netflix, I guess, knew, and just skipped it for me.
Your algorithm told you were not gonna, you didn't care if they put Baby in a corner.
But to do a little sidebar, no.
How dare you?
Me and Nick were talking earlier, so I watched all 3. I loved it. I knew almost nothing about Home Alone. With Ghostbusters and Die Hard, I didn't really learn anything because I knew all that, but I still loved the episodes anyway. But oh my god, I didn't know almost any of that about Home Alone.
Yeah, I haven't watched Home Alone. I'll watch it when I get home.
It's
Alone.
Very interesting story. But yeah, I know the Ghostbusters episode. I love the movies that made us. Like I mean, it's
I'm ready for the next 4 then.
Oh yeah, and it's exactly the same show as the toys that made us. So it's. We know exactly what we're in for,
right.
But I like that.
Yeah.
Because I love that show too. And, what can they do next? What other topic can they cover? The music that made us?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good one.
The TV shows that made us, the video games that made us.
TV shows would probably be the right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ghostbusters Afterlife is the title for this one, which I think is a good title.
Yeah.
And also, too, because this is being framed as an actual true sequel, not a reboot. This is a sequel to continue the story on of Ghostbusters and who they are.
Yeah.
And still tying into the original characters, the original idea of the movie. So I'm very intrigued to finally see what footage it looks like and to get a feel of the movie. But like you said, we could see the trailer and go,
yes. But right now, so far, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Until I have a reason not to be, I'm on board. Now, question, because I just cannot for the life of me remember. The baby in Ghostbusters 2, boy or girl?
Boy.
Okay, never mind. Well, because my thought was...
You're talking Dana's kid, right?
Yeah, I thought,
There
if it was a
no
girl,
Dana.
could the mom be that child, right? Because age-wise, it would work, right? That child would be 30 now. You could potentially have 2 teenage kids. It's possible. My guess for the father was Venkman. I thought Venkman's the one that most likely to be a deadbeat dad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Probably one of the college girls that he was trying to maybe he doesn't even know, right? Well, no, he has to know because they inherit the farm, right? That's what they say. They say
Right.
they inherit the farm from her estranged father or the father she never knew, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's Egon, I'm gonna be really disappointed in the character, not in the writing. Just like, shame on you, Egon. Thought you were better than that. He's my favorite one. He's my favorite Ghostbuster.
Yeah, so in this,
Annie Potts gonna be back too.
I don't know.
I believe she is. I think
Nice.
all the living except for Rick Moranis.
Well, he's just kind of retired. I think he should be back.
Well, I mean, I was hearing someone tell me they saw an interview where he's saying now that his kids are grown, he is actually thinking about coming back into acting.
Yeah, he wants to do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very noble for why why he quit acting,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
his wife got sick and then she passed. And
yeah,
he's
and
just
so
raised
he's
the
like,
kids,
okay, So
good
for him. I mean,
he did come back for an episode of Goldberg's last season.
that's
season
right.
4,
And I think that's when he was starting to put his feet back,
Yeah.
feet back into show business a little bit. So
Yeah, he's only done a few things. He does very little.
Yeah. But Joe Pesci came back, so who knows? Rick Moranis can come back too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen The Irishman
I
yet,
haven't either.
just because it's like 3.5 hours long. But I really want to watch it because, oh my god, it looks awesome.
Sir Sean Connery hasn't come back.
Yeah, but man, Sean Connery's movies that last like I don't know
Who
decade for him were
Who's the man now, dog?
bad. But I mean, like, what was
Welcome to the Rock?
what was the last?
I liked The Rock.
I mean, I do too.
That's a
I'm
good-
Stanley Goodspeed,
that's
but
a-
of course you are.
That's a good.
Okay, The
good
Rock
action
excluded
movie.
though. How many good movies did he have in the '90s? Because I'm thinking like, okay, Sean Connery movies in the '90s. You had like Medicine Man.
Yeah.
Rising Sun.
Yeah.
First Night. Entrapment. Like I'm struggling here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, First Night better than some of those other ones I named. You know, Entrapment, I guess, kind of, but you know, really. Just,
I like Medicine Man.
Maybe I have to watch it again. I don't know. I just remember it not being good. But well, actually, to be fair, I can go back to the '80s, pull a bunch of crap movies from Connery too. Now I think about it. Actually, you know what? Connery made a lot of bad movies.
A lot of people made a lot of bad movies.
That is very true. That is very true.
It's called longevity. The longer you work, the more crap you produce.
Like, but outside of Bond, how many honest to God good movies does Connery have under his belt?
A few in the 70s he made.
I mean, there are some. I mean, definitely some, but like compared to his others,
Outland?
like, huh?
You don't like Outland?
Is that the one with the the Vampirella costume?
Remember Outland? He's in space.
Yeah.
It's like a space marshal.
Yeah. But yeah, but we're talking about Ghostbusters here.
Well, we're just talking about the trailer. So Monday
Yes.
it drops.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Yep.
We got a couple more that dropped.
There's a couple other trailers that came out.
Black Widow.
Oh,
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was something else that was supposed to come out. I can't remember which one it was. But
Oh,
something
that's,
else is supposed to come out, guys. You heard it here first.
Wow.
Eventually, we'll be getting a Godzilla versus Kong trailer. I just don't know when.
That's breaking news there, buddy.
Bum, bum, bum. Well, we're going to get an announcement in January about the new Star Wars film.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the reason why they're waiting until January is because hypothetical situation. Let's say Rise of Skywalker has a solo performance in the box office, and Disney goes, okay, never mind. We're not going to announce that movie now.
No.
Well, I think also too, it's box office aside, right now all their attention is on Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, of course,
and they don't want anything to take away from that.
And someone actually had the nerve to tell me the other day, for movies coming out in 2 weeks, there's not a lot of stuff on TV about it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Every day there's
everywhere.
a new teaser.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't watch network television.
I don't. They get put on the internet. They get put on the internet, and I have to watch network television with my girlfriend.
Conflict.
But no, every day it's like new TV spot on YouTube, right? Just like, and it's gotten, each one has new footage too. So I think there's some I've even missed because they just put out so many out there.
Well,
but yeah, I can't wait.
Episode 7 of The Mandalorian. There's supposed to be a little teaser.
I was going to bring this up when we were talking about The Mandalorian, specifically about the end of the episode, and I totally forgot. But they had announced that episode 6 was gonna feature a major spoiler for the movies, but they didn't say which movies. And now I'm wondering if that fan theory is correct, and that's Boba Fett. Did they mean it's a teaser for the original trilogy? Because I assumed they meant a teaser for or a spoiler for Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
But now I'm thinking it's because like how would this tie into Rise of Skywalker? Like really, Like I mean it could. Is Giancarlo Esposito or Bill Burr going to show up in Rise of Skywalker? I don't know. But yeah, I'm wondering now if they meant a spoiler for the original trilogy.
How would it be a spoiler for the original trilogy though?
Is if it's Boba Fett and he survived the Sarlacc pit, like.
Yeah,
hey,
that's not really. I wouldn't consider that a spoiler.
Or they're going to announce a Mandalorian movie.
All I know is that they said they had announced that episode 6 was going to feature a spoiler for the movies.
Okay, well.
And they were not.
I know they're going to put a
specific
teaser for Skywalker in episode 7
because that's the one that comes out the same day, right?
Yeah. There's supposed to be a teaser for it.
Yeah. But
that Friday.
But Rise of Skywalker, I literally could not be more excited at this point.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. That's all it was just that there's going to be a teaser attached to the next episode.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe people are just reading too much into it.
I mean, literally, the statement just said episode 6 is going to feature a spoiler for the movies.
Wait, now that was a statement.
Yes.
Like from Lucasfilm, they put out a statement saying that there was.
Mm-hmm. I think even Favreau said it specifically.
Okay, talk amongst yourselves.
But no, Rise of Skywalker, man. Like, I know I say this a lot. I feel like I'm one of the few people out there that still, like, really loves Star Wars. Because I keep giving people, are you excited about Episode 9? Yes, I am. Really?
Because it looks way better than Episode 8.
Like, I cannot believe, right? I cannot believe the amount of people that have, like, completely fallen off the Star Wars bandwagon. I am offended by it, actually. Disgusted by it. Appalled.
Yeah, I don't know. We shall see. It's all coming. And then whatchamacallit?
Replace the word teaser with spoiler. Because I never saw once the word teaser.
You keep talking, otherwise it's
Mandalorian Episode 6.
You don't want down there? So, did you hear about the Peter Skarsgård possible casting for Batman movie?
So it's weird, right? Because from what I was an unnamed character, but from what I was reading, when Matt Reeves has been tweeting about the actors in the movie, he's also tweeting the name of the character he's put in there, and I never even heard of the guy that they think he's gonna be, but he was the commissioner between Loeb and Gordon.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he was like lieutenant commissioner under Loeb, when Loeb stepped down, whatever. He became commissioner for like a little bit before Gordon took over. But that character's first name is what Matt Reeves tweeted out when he tweeted out a picture of Peter Skarsgård.
No, we still don't know what. Who's the other one they cast, but they didn't give a name to yet?
I don't really know because I'm not interested in the Batman.
No,
so
no, you're not. You're not
like I haven't really been paying too much attention.
You need to get interested for the show.
What show?
Our show.
Do I? I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing nowhere an official statement about a movie spoiler, about a movie teaser, an upcoming episode.
This was like weeks ago, though. I think it was even.
Okay, well then I guess
I think it was
the internet won't find it since it was weeks ago.
Well, no, but I mean, even right now, as you're typing into Google, it auto-filled Episode 6.
Yeah,
because this was an announcement. They had said. See, I'm afraid if I go looking at the places I normally look, I'll end up finding spoilers for Rise of Skywalker.
Well, whatever. But I know that they did have an article on Yahoo on past Thursday about saying that they're going to put a teaser in for Star Wars.
See, I knew about that.
In Episode 7.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, see, I knew about that.
But who knows?
Yeah. So.
Anything else you want to vamp about?
Yeah, buddy.
How I didn't go to Orlando?
Let's talk about Nick's sources. So I heard from a guy.
Heard from a friend too. Heard from a friend too.
Thought they read a spoiler about the Mandalorian in the movies.
The sirens are alive.
I read it on the internet, so it must be true.
Yet we can't find it anywhere on the Google.
The problem now when I'm Googling it is everything's coming up about Episode 5. Is that Boba Fett?
All right. Well, let's just say.
And again, if I go looking at the places I normally look, I'm probably going to come across
7-1 loss. I'm going to pass that game up.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, the Sharks game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, all right. That's enough silliness. If we find it, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing anything yet.
Oh my!
I was waiting for the
Lions,
Lions,
Tigers,
and Bears.
Instagram and seeing such things.
Yeah.
That's nice.
All right. Should we get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here, kids. All right.
You can do this in D-Land too, Nick, when you go.
So, go for it. Okay. We'll get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody, don't forget to follow us across the social medias on Instagram, to Facebook. Just find us at Oh My Geek Podcast.
Wherever podcasts are sold.
Yeah, but I'm tired. I'm a little bit jet lagged. I don't know if you heard. Okay. All right. That's it for the Oh My Geek podcast for this week. So thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back. We'll be a little bit more in sorts, hopefully. And
no, we won't.
Yeah, I know we won't.
We've never been in
Nick
sorts.
will still be complaining about shows. He's going to start complaining about our show.
I could, I guess. I mean,
you guys do your video vault?
You guys are putting me on the spot. Yeah, I'll complain. I haven't done a video vault in a while. How dare I?
Well, whose fault is that?
It's mine.
Yeah.
So maybe you should think about it.
I will think about it.
Denied.
I'm going to think about it long and hard. All right? I'm trying to think. What do my parents used to yell at me when I get in trouble?
If you get the full name, you know you're in up with.
I'm not going to say my full name on here.
You're in deep.
Oh, no. I know what they told you.
You're my family and I love you, but you're terrible. You're all terrible.
All right. Again, follow us across social medias at Oh My Geek Podcast. That's it for this episode. So, on behalf of the Oh My Geek Podcast, this is Jesse.
This is Nick.
This is Nick.
And we'll talk to you kiddies later. Bye, everybody.
Sorry for the hold-up, folks. There seems to be a slow-moving train up ahead, so we got to sit here for a spell. You just remain seated, and we'll be right with you.